We are building a modern day Fast and the Furious Mark IV Toyota Supra for SEMA. The deadline is coming soon. We have a lot of work to do, so let's get into it.
It is time to get working on our Supra. We have some fuel lines to do. And
wait, before we get started on the fuel lines, the undercarriage of this thing is not looking so pretty like the outside is. So we are gonna race this car up first, and then we're gonna clean, scrub, and paint, and then we'll continue doing the fuel lines.
More orange?
No, we're gonna go black. We always go black underneath the car.
Our trim black? Yeah. Special touch? Cool. You know it. All right, then we have some dash 10 and fuel lines to do. We have a few filters, a whole new mounting bracket, pumps, everything to install. Kind of like we did on the 32.
Some of the interior piece is also gonna go in.
So we have a whole bunch of work to do. Let's get this car up in the air and get to it.
Let's go! Mira, ew, caca.
Oh yeah, now I'm remembering what this whole underside is all about. Look at that, we got some red showing underneath the black, underneath the undercoating.
Oh man.
Let's get the freaking wire brushes ready, huh? Degreaser and wire brushes. Cool.
We just finished getting everything black, about 95% of the stuff. As we go through stuff and we see something that needs a little bit more touch up, we'll get to it. But for now, with us drying, we're gonna start removing the old fuel lines and evap lines. All that's gonna be taken completely removed. And we are gonna be replacing it with dash 10 lines from the pump all the way to the engine. So these are the brake lines that are going to remain where they at. So right now we're taking all the overspray off, and this one, and this one will be removed completely because we are replacing it with dash 10. Our buddy James Beck from Beck's Auto Glass is here once again. If you guys noticed, last time he was here, he did the FJ for us, and right now he's doing our Supra. And right now he's taking the old glue off, the windshield glue off. Once that's removed, he'll start prepping the surface, putting some primer on, some glue, and then we'll put the new glass in.
Well, one thing, when you do a wide body like this, where you don't have fenders that bolt on and off, you gotta make sure and take care of all the little things. So one thing that whenever we wide body a car, we find out that we need to extend the fuel filler. This wide body kit is extreme and move the body out probably 2.5 inches from where it used to be. So this is what I cut off. As you can see, the factory gas tank is plastic. Don't mind the dirt, we'll clean all that up before it goes back in. What I did was index it with a line here, cut it with a chop saw. Always be careful cutting on a fuel cell, because if there's fuel fumes in here, you can cause a pretty gnarly fire. But you can see where this came off, and we're gonna take a piece of this hose, and this fits inside here just like that. We'll hose clamp this, and we'll cut our piece, we'll hose clamp this over this, and that'll give us the extension we need to bring it out to the width of our wide body. I don't wanna bore you guys with all this miscellaneous work, so once you guys see it when we're done here, it'll all be finished.
If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the Throttle YouTube channel and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss a thing.
Dang, just like factory, and that's what we love. Putting these things back together when we wide body them, and you can't even tell that this isn't stock. It's so cool. I mean, obviously we upgraded it with our Downstar hardware as we always do, but man, look at this. Stock setup, baby. All right, I went ahead and cut these rain covers out. These are meant to fill the holes in the hood. so that water, when you wash your car and stuff, it doesn't come through. We want these to be functional. We want the heat to escape. So I turned them into actually just trim rings. So I cut out the hole in the hood on the fiberglass, and this is just gonna sandwich the mesh into the hood and hold it in place. All right, all of our frames are cut, painted, bolted in with Downstar hardware. Looking pretty good. I like it, just like the movie car.
We've removed all the hard lines from underneath. We've chopped them off pretty much right below here. So now we have these final hard lines to remove. I've already popped off the wire harness. We'll take the ground off. And I think this is evap. We have soft hoses right here. Take off these hexes and it should drop down.
This is pretty cool. You can tell already had a double pump system, and possibly it has space to put a third one in there. Wondering to see what size this is.
Wow, that was already in there?
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
Pretty cool, huh?
That's trick. Also, these are not fuel line clamps. Those are just traditional hose clamps, which can be a problem when you're trying to pump like a lot of, like that's okay for pumping a lot of fuel, but if you want to pump like a lot of fuel, that doesn't work, you know?
What?
It just blows off. Yeah.
That's okay.
No, this is like this is like
a lot of fuel.
A lot of fuel. Like, oh, it needs a lot of fuel. That's okay. But you want like a lot of fuel. You want like fuel. You want fuel. That doesn't work.
Yeah, like,
that blows up.
Like a lot of
all.
Oh my god, that's a lot of fuel. That's way too much fuel.
You want way too much.
Yeah, this is like, oh, you want a lot of fuel? Ah, you can take this, but you want a lot. Oh my god, that's too much. Yeah, different.
You want like a lot of fuel? That doesn't work. We got the radium set up with the D-Works fuel pump's gonna be going in this thing. That's gonna handle a lot of fuel, baby. Let's go. While we're on the topic of fuel, I want to let you guys know that what is in your fuel tank matters. That's why we run Sunoco on all of our builds here at the Throttle Garage, and the Supra is going to be included in that. We're going to be running Sunoco E85R in that car. Whether you're running an Ultra Tech, which is a top tier certified, or a racing fuel like E85R, Sunoco will help your car run cleaner, longer, and more efficiently.
So in front of me, I have everything I need to get the fuel drop system installed. So I have a radium fuel pump hanger, I have the oil hanger with me, and I have two brushless systems here from D-Works. So these pumps they're way smaller than your traditional fuel pump, and they are way stronger. As you can see over here, we have two brushless controllers that we are going to be plugging into this. Your traditional pump has 2 wires, positive and negative, but in this case they have 4. One of the things that Radium did for us, it already has wired up and set up for a brushless system. It's going to make everything a lot simpler and easier to install. That being said, I think that's all I need to do here. I got my fittings, I got the 1 plug because I'm only running 2 pumps instead of 3, and the next thing to do is just start putting everything together. The vent for the pumps are done, main lines for the pumps are done, so the next step we are going to be doing is, by we I mean we, because it's not doing anything. I'm going to be doing the wiring, which is 2 pumps. Now because this is a brushless pump, as I already explained before, they require 4 wires. So I'm going to be transferring 4 wires to this side of the hanger, and the other 4 wires to the other side. From that moment, then we'll put the fuel sending unit here, the leveler, and from there we'll be able to drop it into the tank, and then we'll do the rest of the wiring and custom lines done from above. I'm done putting this thing together. It's time to see if the boys are done with the rear part of the vehicle so I can drop this thing in and get it bolted down. Our radium fuel pump hanger is installed with both of our Dishworks pump. Next step is gonna be, we are gonna find the location for the fuel filter. From there, we'll start making from fuel filter to pump fuel lines. We'll have the line for the return line ready to go as well. So when Quinn gets done with the engine, we'll drop that in, then we'll be able to marry everything together and we'll have one complete fuel system. Here's our Dishworks fuel filter. We'll be putting a 10 micron filter in here. All I'm doing is putting it together so when we start mocking it, we don't have to take it all back apart. Just to put the filter in, and might as well get it done now.
Just like the R32, we found a couple of pre-existing OE studs here. In the R32, there were a couple welded in nuts that we were able to just put an M8 and an M6. And here we have two M6 studs that are right here and they fit perfectly on this bracket. So using some of the Dishworks 90 degree, 180 degree, 120 degree, and 30 degree that they sent us with this kit, we're gonna route and plumb these dash 10 lines just as we need them to. So they gotta come from the tank up here that we're gonna squeeze between the subframe and this pan for the rear seats, and then we're gonna kick it down to where our radium fuel line holders are gonna hold it. So this is perfect.
Now that our fuel filter is in place, I'm gonna start building our AN line. But first, I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna make some space so our big thick lines can fit right through it. Now that our fuel pumps are installed and our hangings installed on the fuel tank, we are going to start making the line that goes from the fuel pump to the fuel filter. And I'm going to use this line right here, which I already measured and cut. And then I have two fittings right here, which I think is going to be the one that's going to work for me, the 45 and the 120. I'm going to put this thing together, go to the back of the car, and I'm going to install it, and then we'll see how it turns out.
All right, well, I gotta cut Ricky in line. He needs the car up and down in order to do the fuel lines, and I'm supposed to be helping him with it. So for the time being, we're gonna keep the car down. We have some interior panels to put in, and I think it's time to get to that.
Yep.
He looks so ready over here.
Look
at that.
I'm putting
He's
tools
ready.
away. I'm putting tools away. We got to mess
stuff up. All right, cool. Let's do this, Ricky.
Got the Supra off the lift. I'm gonna push this thing forward so I'm able to open both doors and me and Will can get cracking on the interior, and then it'll be a lot easier. Will's almost done running the harness that goes inside the door. I'm gonna start doing this side as well, and once we're both done, I guess we just keep on going, right?
All the components inside of the door can go in, glass,
Oh yeah.
all that kind of stuff. This is just the wires, but
A lot of work.
we just got all the wires ran into the door cards. We're kind of cleaning everything out of the pan of this car so that we can lay the lowest carpet in. And then we have a seat delete kit. We have all the interior panels, of course, to do. So we're just making progress on that.
We have our B and C pillars here. I have one, Will has the other one, and we have hardware. And we're just gonna pop this thing in.
This be the factory sub.
English.
These
Factory subwoofer. Subwoofer?
These
Subwoofer?
be the factory sub.
All right, we're going to pop in this last panel for the back here, and then we can start focusing on the floor. All of our wraparound panels are done, so.
Here we have a rear seat delete, which the carpet goes underneath all this. But I just want you guys to get kind of like a idea what it's gonna look like when it's installed properly. And all this will be underneath all this when we're ready to put it on.
Yep. That's kind of nice. It continues the black carpet. It's just gonna keep going down to the floor when we put the floor carpet in.
And we know this is blue. This is gonna be black. We have one coming. We got a brand new one on the way. So we have a cage that is showing up very, very soon, which is why I don't want to put this on. Part of it's gotta come back apart. Once it's on, then we'll finalize this area of the interior. Now that we have most of our interior stuff in, I am gonna move over to the door. I'm gonna get the windows in, the regulator, our buttons, door handle, and some other stuff, so let's get to it.
We got windows.
Ricky's on game.
Wait, did that roll up? How did you do that? Oh, he jumped it from a battery. Okay.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Like, we got no wiring harness in the engine, but this man has a battery hooked up. Yeah, it's pretty good.
The driver's side of the internal components already installed. Will's gonna work on the passenger side, and then we'll meet together again and we'll get the door cards in. But for now, it's your turn, buddy.
Dang it. I wheeled up the motor for the track to be available. Now I'm going to slide the window in, and then all this stuff can go on. I just wanted to ensure my wire routing first. Well, all the internals of the door are completely intact and in place. So now it's time to get the cover on. I'm gonna install our first piece of carbonetics. Carbon fiber lay on this is so clean. It looks really good. It's nice and glossy. So I just need to install the switches on here and then insert it into here and fasten it. And then the door card itself will go on. The handle's already in place. I'll just put the bezel around this, and this door card, this door is complete.
Very nice. Look at this. Very nice. This looks very nice. Very nice. Wow.
You dig?
Great success.
Well, the car is up on the lift because the boys needed to work on something in the engine bay. Before we put it up here, I did get the driver door done. The carbonetics insert is in place. That door is fully functional, ready to go. Unfortunately, this side, despite our best efforts, the cable is shot. So we took it back apart after Ricky messed with it for a while and couldn't open it. After testing it and it working while it was open, I closed it and it will not open again. So ordered new cables. We'll get this door card in a later episode. But for right now, the rest of the interior is pretty well done. So let's get back to the rest of it.
I made a canard and it's basically made out of cardboard and blue tape. Fits on here like so. And what we'll do is I'll send this off to Carbonetics, the guys that made our quarter glass covers as well as all of our interior carbon, and they'll make a mold off of this and basically make us some carbon fiber canards to fit this Speedwell's body kit that we sourced from VAD Designs. They don't make a canard set. I wanted canards. This is what we have to resort to get it done. So it's a long process, but we can do it. All right, just finished up the canards and they're off to Carbonetics where they're gonna create them out of composites for us. Once they're done there, they'll come back to us here at the throttle shop and we'll bolt them on the car. I can't wait to toss these things on. They're gonna look super aggressive. Hope you guys are as excited as we are.
So we're at a bit of a stopping point with the interior on the Mark IV. Unfortunately, we have a few parts in transit that didn't make it here on time to get put into the car. Yeah. In addition to that, there are some things that still need to be disassembled to install other components, but those few parts will be in a couple of days, and in the next interior video, you guys will have a ton of parts getting put on and a lot of really good interior content. There's a lot to be done on that car still. We actually set the padding out for the Recaro seats to get reupholstered in a more ideal color for the car. Red is a great color, it just doesn't really go with the theme of the, I think we're trying to chase after with the Supra. So we went for a better color, and you guys are gonna have to wait to see that. But for now, I wanted to show you some of the parts that kind of rolled in as we were making progress on the car that didn't make it into the initial parts video. To start off, we have a full set of battle version arms. Beautiful pieces, and this is gonna allow us to pretty much set up the suspension however we want. If we're gonna be drag racing or autocrossing, whatever we wanna do with the car, these are gonna allow us to get the alignment set up and make adjustments and hopefully get this car to get out of the hole really nicely. So we can start making some quarter-mile passes. We also have a front cooling panel, very beautiful, nice carbon fiber, and we have a set of Carbonetics.
Carbonetics, dry carbon, yeah, those are just an aesthetic touch that are gonna go on the back quarter panel.
Really nice. So it's a rear window cover. Put some dry carbon on the car, always such a good look. We also have a V160 weighted short shifter. I had a little bit of a hard time finding a short shifter for the V160, but Mickey found one no problem and got that here. So really nice looking piece. I believe we can throw a throttle shift knob on it too, which is gonna be really nice. We are also gonna be running nitrous on this car. So we have a NOS system, of course. It is the Mark IV Supra. It is a movie car, our rendition of the movie car, and it has to have nitrous. That's such a staple component for it. So we've got two beautiful 10-pound bottles. We've got brackets, and these are going to be displayed in the back window, of course. Looking beautiful, and it is going to be a full functioning system as well. So we have the bottle brackets here with the blowdown tubes. These are in case the bottle overpressurizes. This is part of our purge kit, and we're going to be running direct port nitrous injection on this car. So we have a full wet direct port kit, 6 injectors, all the lines and all the solenoids to make it work. We do not have a standalone nitrous injection controller, and that is because this is going to be integrated with our Haltech, and it is going to do a much better job at communicating with the ECU and working with the timing, and we can really adjust and get this thing tuned up. So we're not 100% sure how we're going to tune it yet. We might use it to spool the big G42 1200 turbo we have and maybe get onto peak boost a little higher, or we might add it on the top end and try and grab some bigger numbers out of it. It's gonna be up to us, and it's gonna be up to when we go on the dyno session to see what this thing does.
So I'm thinking with the Haltech kind of handling when the nitrous goes in, we're never gonna be too soon, Junior. Too soon, Junior.
I don't think so, yeah. No, we're not making the Jetta here. This thing's gonna be extremely fast. So we could use it to spool the turbo and then make more on the top end. Nice. So there's a lot of fun stuff we could do. We're also gonna have the purge set up, and it's gonna be really fun. We're gonna do some fun stuff with the ports and the venting for that. It's gonna look really nice.
Heck yeah.
So very exciting. I'm glad to have nitrous back on one of our builds. We have a lot of fun with their products every time we get them, and they're really fun to install, and they look so freaking cool in the car. So that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, drop a comment down below how you guys think the car is turning out, and what do you think of all these fun parts we're gonna be going on the build next. What do you think, Will?
Dude, it's a huge list. We've got a lot of work to do, but this thing's gonna be fantastic when we're done with it.
Yeah, we do have a lot of work to do. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one.
All right, what kind of swap did we do, Ricky?
We have a Will Jay-Z.
Will Jay-Z?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing I can come up with.
Look at this man. Pulling animal crackers out of his work buckets. How many you got in there?
One.
Yeah, right.
Little camel. Not cool.
No,
What the hell?
It hurt. I just took this panel up the fingernail.
Oh, thank God you said fingernail.